Right now, though, tomorrow it's a big day. It's Global Outdoor Classroom Day, bringing into the sharp focus at the fact that children around the world increasingly lack outdoor playtime. Now, this morning, we chat to our creative parenting expert, Nikki Bush, about the reasons for this trend and what we can do about it during the fabulous season of autumn. Nikki, so good to have you. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thanks, Ewan.
Nice to have you. I believe you've got some shocking statistics to share as to why this is happening. Why are children not getting outdoors?
Yeah, so there's this initiative around the world to get kids outdoors because 2 out of 3 children in the world are spending less than 1.5 hours a day outdoors. This is less than the 2-hour minimum for US maximum security prisoners.
What?
So that's quite alarming.
Yeah.
And then the second stat is that there are 1.5 billion visits to green spaces, most of which are done with a dog. Only 9% with a child.
No. So this is definitely something that needs to kind of be looked at seriously. I mean, but why is this happening? What is the contributing factors for our kids not getting outdoors? Is it because of, I don't know, things happening at home, gaming, parents?
Well, you've mentioned a couple of them.
Yeah.
So situations in homes where parents are working full-time and they come home after dark. Where we have more time on a screen and it takes much less energy to play on a screen than to play in the outdoors. There's also, in certain countries around the world, there's a lot of pollution, so they don't let kids outside. A lot of kids are growing up in high-rise buildings, and many preschools are actually inside buildings. So children don't get to see the outdoors, don't get to experience the outdoors. Maybe they have some AstroTurf. So there are many reasons contributing to this, but in South Africa we have, for the most part, glorious weather, and for the most part our schools are on ground level and do have access to the outdoors. But how are we actually using the outdoors, and why is it good for children?
And you know what, being a dad of two beautiful boys, I think my biggest focus shifted to really getting my boys to experience things. It's all about the experiences for me and my family, getting them out there, exposing them to nature, because like you rightly said, we live in South Africa, we have a beautiful backyard that we can make use of. So Global Outdoor Classroom Day, all right, what are some of the benefits of getting a child out there and really just exposed to the elements around them?
So outdoors shows you how life works. So all those beautiful life cycles, we're currently going from summer into autumn.
It almost feels like, why are we actually talking about this?
I know, like, duh, this is like common sense for us, but for many children, this is not common sense anymore. In many schools, for example, when it's cold in winter, parents don't want the children to go outside. But actually, how do you go and discover what icicles look like and what frost looks like if you don't go outside?
All those exciting things that I experienced as a kid.
Mud, water. Now think of your children when they get to play with mud and water. The rules are completely different to when you have to build a puzzle, for example. The children are more in control of the medium often. There's also that sense of discovery, taking your child out with a bug box and collecting bugs, and you've got that magnifying glass, and they get to see bugs in action. And even just sitting looking at a rock face for long enough, you can see things happening. It's alive. It's not just a rock, it's alive. So bringing children's awareness to the fact that there is so much that goes on in the natural world that keeps us alive. Let's just think of the bee.
Absolutely, and you as a parent also needs to allow that to happen. I mean, I had a good laugh with my boy. He went through this phase where he brought every single ant that he could find outside into the house and said, look, I found an ant, but it was ants everywhere. But great things like what you've got here as well, the simple kind of sketching or
wrappings. So we're going into autumn now, and unfortunately these are not autumn leaves. But, but you know, you can do creative stuff with kids, like creating rubbings. You know, this is old-fashioned stuff that we were used to. But kids today don't know all about this. So this is like magic. I actually did it over there already. Let's see if I can recreate this. So the veins of the leaf come through. You can use wax crayons, you can use pencil, you can use all sorts of things. So anything that's actually got a texture works really, really well.
Well, that looks like it's working really, really well.
There we go.
And this is something so simple, but I think we tend to forget the importance of something as simple as this.
Yes, we go for all the high-tech stuff that costs a lot of money, but you can walk around a garden with a piece of paper and you can go up to a tree and do the bark, exactly like I've just done this. Crayons will work better, though. So put your paper on the bark of a tree and do that. Even your paving outside that's got texture, your bricks, you can do this as well. So, you know, lots of stuff. Why don't you go and get autumn leaves and create what we call an ice bowl?
Yes.
Where you put two bowls, one inside the other, and you put the autumn leaves down the side, fill it with water, stick it in the freezer, and then you pull the bowls apart and you've created an ice bowl for your ice cream.
And look at that. Nikki, thank you very, very much. I'm so happy that we are focusing on this, but our chat is not done yet. She's going to be staying with us for the rest of the morning as well. We're going to be talking about what schools should be looking at to make sure that the children get outside and experience so much more.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, we're taking a quick break and we're focusing back on our parents and our children. Now, earlier on, we spoke to Nikki Bush, our creative parenting expert, about the importance of outdoor play when it comes to our children. And in fact, tomorrow is Global Outdoor Classroom Day, which is a fantastic day for schools to get involved in as well. We're continuing that discussion right now. Nikki, thank you once again for joining us. So just to quickly recap, why is it so important for our children to get outside? Because they are not getting outside enough. And this is almost feels like a silly thing to talk about, but it's happening.
That's right, Ewan. You know, children are often encased in four walls of a classroom all day, or they're at home in front of a screen. With security issues today, we don't let our kids out. They need to be supervised all the time. They don't have the freedom to go and explore nature, their gardens, the local park, without an adult supervising them. And that means that we as adults, teachers, parents need to make a very conscious effort to get kids outdoors.
So let's quickly talk about this initiative, the Global Outdoor Classroom Day that's now taking place tomorrow. How can schools really take this on board and run with it tomorrow?
So, Ewan, it's taking place around the world. This is the first year that South Africa is involved. We're hoping to get at least 100,000 children signed up and 1,000 school principals. So go on to outdoorclassroomday.co.za where you can sign up as a school, sign up as a family, sign up as a teacher, sign up as a principal, and there you'll also find a lot of resources about what to do on this day with your kids and with your class.
Which I think is fantastic because especially taking a look at South Africa, we have a beautiful backdrop. We have
do,
it, you know.
And we just don't realize how privileged we are. You know, in the Northern Hemisphere, children spend more than half the year in winter in basements, in buildings with heaters, can't go outdoors because it is just so icy cold. We really have mild winters by comparison.
Absolutely. What are some of the things that that kids can look forward to be doing on a day like tomorrow?
Well, you know, as a child, I used to collect flowers and leaves and press them in a flower press.
We all did that. It was fun.
But that used to take about 3 weeks before they were dried and flat enough.
Is it ready? No, it's not ready.
Are they cooked yet? But talking of cooking, you can now do this in a microwave in an instant.
Really?
You get your flowers and your leaves, you put them between pieces of paper, and then you put a fire brick on top of whatever you're trying to do. The fire brick is one of those construction bricks with the holes in it. And then you put the microwave on. Now go and Google it because I can't remember how much time you need to cook them for.
Best go Google it.
But I have seen pictures of how beautifully these flowers and leaves keep their color and how flat they become in just a few minutes.
So that's definitely,
Yeah, and then you can make, of course, pictures with all those beautiful things that you have dried out.
That's it. Use your skill, use your senses. Just quickly before we wrap up, I need to ask you this. Do schools do or focus on outdoor activities or maybe going out on field trips? Because I remember as a kid, you know, that was quite impactful, especially we went to a bread factory to see how bread was made. And we all walked out of there with our own loaves of bread. And that was phenomenal. And I remember it still to this day.
Yes.
Is that still something that's important?
So schools definitely do field trips. And on a day like tomorrow, they'd be going to a local dam or a park, going to look at the ecosystems in play. And I think what's important to note is that when children are learning outdoors, it's a multi-sensory experience. Children concentrate better and they remember more.
Love it. Thank you very much, Nikki, for your valuable advice there. And also take it on board tomorrow. Outdoor Classroom Day. It's all happening all around the world. First time, like Nikki said, in South Africa. Visit outdoorclassroomday.co.za.
That's right.
That's where you can get all the details if you're at school, you want to partake. But make sure to get the children outside. And as she says, they concentrate better.